Alright, to start off our demo, we're going to first kind of explain what our Eclipse project is before we delve into GitHub and Jenkins. So we have a very simple project here, and all it has a module A, a module B, a module A test, and a module B test. All module A does, so it has a single method in it called return num, which just returns 1. Module B has a method in it called return 2, which basically just calls a.return num and adds it to a.return num to get 2. And our module A test, we just have two very simple tests here that make sure that it returns 1, and if we call that and add 1, it returns 2. Module B test is just testing to make sure it returns 2. And if we run these tests, they both pass, obviously. Okay, so now that we kind of have a basic understanding of what our project is, we are going to look at the GitHub page that is basically housing where our code's being stored. So here you see we have our source folder, which if we looked into here, here's our module A Java test, B, and module B test. If we look at the graphs, the network graph, we can see kind of a little picture of all the different commits that have gone into making this little project. And if we click on any of them, it'll tell us what has changed at that point in time. So if we go to our Jenkins server here we see our Jenkins demo. Its build was successful, indicated by the sun there. And if we click on it, we see we have, here is our testing graph, and we see we have 3 different tests, and as of right now, they all pass. If we kind of look back in the graph, we saw these builds over here, we only had 2 tests, and we had 1 that failed at this point in time here. Alright, so now we're going to go back to our Eclipse project here, and we're going to make some changes. So for module A, all we're going to do is return num is now going to return -1. So we'll save that, and we will then come over here to our test, and to make this pass, that will return -1, and this will now return 0. So we run our test, we see this will pass, everything looks great. Now the idea being that another developer was developing on module B, and we didn't have the foresight to really know that B is dependent on module A. So we made these changes here, and the developer creating module A thinks everything's fine. So what he would do is, this is how we're going to push this change up to GitHub, and even though I'm using a Mac, all of the commands would be the exact same on a PC. So first we're going to do a git status, and we see that we have modified our source code, both module A and module A test to have been changed. So we're going to say git add source. Alright, so that's going to add both of these changes to the commit, and we can check that by doing a git status. Alright, they've turned from red to green, so we know it's in the commit. We can now say git commit, which will open up a Vim terminal, which we can just add a little message here saying updated code to return -1 or something. Alright, so we right quit out of that. So our commit has been made, as we can see down here. It's telling us what we've inserted 3 things, we've deleted 2 things. So we have committed it, but we still need to push it up to GitHub. So to do that, we'll do a git push origin master. We're pushing it to the master branch. Alright, and that's it. And then we'll do a git status. Alright, so on branch master, nothing to commit, working directory clean. So that's what we like to see. That means everything has been pushed up to GitHub. And what we can do actually is we can check here. We can check our network graph. And if we refresh, alright, we see the latest commit here. Updated code to return -1. If we click on it, we can see exactly what we changed there. So now we'll go back to our Jenkins and we're going to request a build now. It's scheduled to build every half hour, I think, or it is now. But if we say build now, it will build it and run those tests. Alright, and we see we have a yellow ball here, which means unstable. And we just saw this little red spike where we failed one test. And we can actually click on it and click on console output, and we can look at our testing here, and we see that we had one failed on module B test has failed.